Perkenalkan, nama saya Muhammad Faryansyah. Saya di sini akan presentasi kelompok 6. Di sini saya akan memperkenalkan sebuah makhluk yang bernama Steve Jobs, visioner di balik Apple. Jadi siapa sih Steve Jobs itu? Steve Jobs lahir pada 24 Februari 1955 di San Francisco, California, Amerika Serikat. Dibesarkan oleh orang tua angkat, Paul dan Clara Jobs. Steve Jobs wafat pada 5 Oktober 2011. Kematian Jobs meninggalkan warisan teknologi yang luar biasa. Steve Jobs adalah pendiri dari Apple, pelopor revolusi komputer pribadi, dan inovator teknologi yang mengubah wajah industri elektronik global. Jobs juga dikenal karena kemampuannya menciptakan produk yang menggabungkan desain estetis dengan teknologi mutakhir. Gambaran singkat tentang Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs diadopsi oleh pasangan Paul dan Clara Jobs. Minat pada teknologi muncul sejak muda, saat Jobs magang di Hewlett Packard yang mengasah minatnya dalam elektronik dan komputer. Setelah lulus SMA, Jobs masuk ke Rich College di Portland, namun memutuskan untuk berhenti setelah 1 semester. Meski demikian, ia tetap menuntut ilmu di bidang seni kaligrafi dan desain grafis yang kelak berpengaruh pada estetika produk Apple, terutama pada tipografi Mac. Perjalanan karir. Jobs memulai karirnya pada 1976. Jobs bersama dengan Steve Wozniak dan Ronald Wayne mendirikan Apple di garasi rumah orang tua Jobs. Mereka menciptakan Apple I, komputer pertama mereka yang berhasil menarik perhatian pasar. Apple II menjadi komputer pribadi pertama yang sukses secara komersial, memperkenalkan komputer pribadi kepada rumah tangga dan sekolah di seluruh dunia. Tetapi dalam perjalanannya itu, untuk menuju kesuksesan, muncul konflik. Pada 1985, setelah konflik internal dengan manajemen Apple, Jobs mundur dari perusahaan yang ia dirikan. Jobs kemudian mendirikan Next, sebuah perusahaan komputer yang berfokus pada pasar pendidikan dan bisnis, dan mengakuisisi Pixar, sebuah studio animasi yang kemudian mengubah industri film animasi dengan film-film seperti Toy Story dan Finding Nemo. Setelah konflik berkepanjangan, Apple menghadapi kesulitan finansial pada 1997. Jobs kembali ke perusahaan sebagai CEO di bawah kepemimpinannya. Apple meluncurkan produk revolusioner seperti iMac, iPod, iPhone, dan iPad yang tidak hanya mengubah industri teknologi tapi juga cara orang berinteraksi dengan perangkat digital. Bagaimana prinsip dan gaya kepemimpinan Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs sangat memperhatikan setiap aspek produk dari desain hingga pengalaman pengguna baginya. Produk Apple harus lebih dari sekedar berfungsi, mereka harus indah dan mudah digunakan. Jobs juga menekankan pentingnya berpikir berbeda dan berani mengambil langkah-langkah yang tidak biasa. Filosofinya adalah bahwa untuk menciptakan sesuatu yang luar biasa, seseorang harus berani berpikir di luar batasan konvensional. Ketahanan mental dan pengaruh terhadap desain modern. Meskipun menghadapi kegagalan baik dalam karir maupun bisnis, Jobs tetap bangkit dan terus melangkah maju. Ketekunan dan semangat juangnya adalah kunci kesuksesan. Jobs mempengaruhi desain produk modern dengan mengutamakan estetika dan kegunaan dalam setiap ciptaannya. Apple menjadi simbol desain inovatif dan elegan dalam teknologi. Produk-produk ikonik. Berikut adalah produk-produk ikonik yang dibuat oleh Apple. iMac mengubah pandangan dunia tentang desain komputer pribadi. Lalu ada iPod, revolusi industri musik dan mengubah cara orang mengkonsumsi media. iPod ini terinspirasi oleh anaknya yang bernama Lisa. Lisa ini sering menyetel lagu, tapi Steve Jobs menyajikan akan menaruh 1000 lagu di dalam kantongnya, dan Steve Jobs menciptakan iPod ini. Lalu ada iPhone, transformasi komunikasi, hiburan, dan industri aplikasi seluler. Lalu ada iPad memperkenalkan tablet sebagai kategori produk baru di pasar. Dan di sini juga ada MacBook. MacBook menjadi simbol portabilitas dan desain elegan dalam dunia laptop. Di sini ada iPod 1000 lagu untuk podcast, 1 GB dari MP35. Dan berikut adalah video Steve Jobs yang memperkenalkan iPod.
Today, we're going to focus on the iPod mini. Now, the iPod mini is what all of our competitors have their sights focused on. Why? Well, it's obvious. Because the iPod mini is the most popular MP3 player in the world. It's the most popular iPod, and that makes it the most popular MP3 player in the world. So that's the one everybody's focused on. Well, today, we're going to do something pretty bold. Today, we're going to replace it. We're going to replace it with something new. Now, let's go back to the beginning, because we started this all with 1,000 songs in your pocket, right? We started it with the original iPod. And then we carried 1,000 songs in your pocket over to the iPod mini. Well, now we're going to replace the iPod mini with a new player, an entirely new ground-up design that also has 1,000 songs in your pocket. And it's called the iPod Nano. The iPod Nano is the biggest revolution since the original iPod. A lot of people have worked so hard on this over the last many, many months. And it is my privilege to show it to you now. 1,000 songs in your pocket, the iPod Nano. So, let's get a camera. I've got a pocket right here. Now this pocket's been the one that your iPod's gone in, traditionally. The iPod and the iPod mini fit great in there. You ever wonder what this pocket's for? I've always wondered that. Well, now we know, because this is the new iPod Nano. All right, let's take a closer look at it. This is the new iPod Nano. It is breathtaking. You won't believe it until you hold it in your hands. 1,000 songs. An amazing color display. A click wheel. It is one of the most amazing products Apple has ever created. 1,000 songs in your pocket. Impossibly small. It's really small. Let me show you how small this is. This thing is thinner than a number 2 pencil. Thinner than a number 2 pencil. Now, let's go ahead and compare it to the original iPod. This is the original iPod that also held 1,000 songs in your pocket. Look at that. The iPod Nano is 80% smaller in volume than the original iPod. 80% smaller means it's 20% of the size. It's 1/5 the size of the original iPod that we shipped less than 4 years ago. Okay, let's compare it to the iPod mini. The iPod mini, an incredibly successful product. The iPod Nano is half the thickness. It's 62% smaller by volume. That means it's almost 1/3 the size of the iPod mini. Now let's take a look at some competitors. Some of their flash products here. Here's iRiver. Look at this. 68% smaller. It's 1/3 the size of a competing player that doesn't hold anywhere near the number of songs. Here's another one by a company called Creative. I think it's called their Zen player. Again, 69% smaller, 1/3 the size. Here's another one. I think this is the Zen Neon. 58% smaller, less than half the size. Here's a player from Samsung. Again, less than half the size, 59% smaller. Here's a Sony player, 67% smaller, a third the size. Now let me compare it to something else, which isn't a competitor, which is a really cool product. This is the coolest phone on the market until today with the iTunes phone, the Motorola Razr phone, right? Look at this though. 66% smaller, 1/3 the size of the smallest phone on the market. That's how small this is. It's really small size, but it's got really big features. This is a full-featured iPod. So, first thing is, it's got that 30-pin dock connector like the iPod and the iPod mini, and so it plugs in to the entire universe of iPod accessories. And again, a gorgeous color screen, and music's the most important thing. But we've added some other things beyond just music. We've added photos. So you can have your whole photo library, up to 25,000 photos, and the color screen is pretty nice, very high resolution. And we've added some great things and extras. We have a new clock, which is set to Cupertino when we ship it, but you can put it to any major city in the world. But you can also add as many clocks as you want. And just scroll down and see them. And they go dark when it's nighttime, have however many clocks you want. Of course, we have games. We have beautiful calendars. We have some new things too. We have a lap timer, a stopwatch and a lap timer, so you can do some really nice lap times, several of them. And we have a screen lock. If you're going to have your contacts and calendars on, you might want to lock your screen when you, and you can do that. And the way you do it is you set it with the click wheel. You turn the click wheel, it turns the dial, you set the lock. Now, some people are going to forget anything, so they're going to forget their combination. When you take your iPod Nano back and you dock it with the computer that it's synced to, it automatically opens the lock. So you're not going to be stranded. So these are just a few of the features of the new iPod Nano, a full-featured iPod. And yet all of this weighs 1.5 ounces, 42 grams. That is less than 8 quarters in your pocket. It's got USB 2 for really fast transfers, and it's got a 14-hour rechargeable battery. All in this tiny, tiny little package. Of course, it works on PCs and Macs. And there's one other thing. You know, white is our signature color for the iPod. They've been white since the very beginning, and of course, the iPod Nano's signature color is white as well. But we decided to do a second color because we tried it and it looked so cool. And so we're going to be offering the iPod Nano in black as well. White and a black model. So, 2 models, 2 colors. iPod Nano. The first model, 4 gigabytes of storage, holds 1,000 songs, priced at $249. The same price that we launched the iPod mini at last year. Second model, 2 gigabytes, holds 500 songs for just $199. These are amazing, amazing prices for these features. And they are shipping today. We are shipping units as we sit here right now. They will be in stores in many parts of the world by this weekend. They will be in some stores as early as tomorrow afternoon or Friday. And this is what you look for. This is the shipping boxes. They are shipping out as we speak today.
Dalam sejarahnya, Steve Jobs mempengaruhi terhadap budaya teknologi. Steve Jobs memiliki ide-ide. Dia berhasil menjadikan teknologi sebagai bagian integral kehidupan sehari-hari. Tanpa Steve Jobs, mungkin tidak ada handphone, laptop, headset, dan lain-lain. Produk-produk Apple bukan hanya digunakan untuk bekerja, tapi juga menjadi alat hiburan, komunikasi, dan gaya hidup. Inilah sebuah kata-kata motivasi dari seorang Steve Jobs. Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by the team of people. Steve Jobs. Hal-hal besar dalam bisnis tidak pernah dilakukan oleh satu orang. Mereka dilakukan oleh sebuah tim. Steve Jobs tidak hanya menciptakan produk, tetapi juga pengalaman yang mengubah cara orang berinteraksi dengan dunia. Warisannya mencakup filosofi desain, pengembangan produk, dan cara berpikir yang revolusioner. Pesan dari Steve Jobs yang bisa diterapkan dalam kehidupan dan karir kita. Berani untuk bermimpi besar, berinovasi tanpa henti, dan tidak pernah menyerah pada kegagalan. Sekian dari saya, Muhammad Variansyah dari kelompok 6. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.